Have you ever felt the part? Have you ever felt the in a path that it repeats over and over again? When a habit, belief, or thought repeats in your mind over and over again, it creates a path of repetitions. And this path of repetitions with the time become a circle. And this circle, this in this circle you can find fear, and every fear becomes a wall, and every expectation from others become a door that we close without noticing. Hi, my name is Chris, and I grew up believing if I was perfect, I believing if I was perfect, nothing will hurt, or I will be happier. So, getting the excellent grades, never raising my voice, being polite, laughing but not laughing too much, being independent and but not being a burden. All of these expectations from others creates a perfect and beautiful, clean circle that full of patterns that slowly became my home. And I walk around it a lot of time. But one day I felt that I need to stop. And in that pause, I collapsed. And all my expectations, all the expectations fell, and I fell with them. I no longer recognize myself, and I didn't know who I was without pleasing people. And I felt for the first time pain, intense pain of my body, and I couldn't breathe. And that was hard because I cried. In that year, I cried every day, every night. And I didn't want to stay here. I didn't want to stay here in this world. Because for me, living hurt me a lot. And in an attempt to survive, the only thing that I knew how to do was run. Far away. And so I left my country, I left my family, I left my friends, and I left the place that I grew up. And now I wasn't walking in this circle. Now I was running trying to survive. So I thought, if I am in a new place, in a new environment, with a new friends, with a new experiences, I will be happy. Or maybe it could at least back to walk, because I was tired. But I forgot that you can change the landscape 1,000 times, but the circle remains the same. So, but the circle remains the same. And in this new place, I start my endless marathon. I was trying to survive, and I was running, and I didn't know what I was feeling. I lived more than 2 years just like working and doing things and living in automatic. And my only goal, and I had no longer dreams, and I forgot what responsibility was. I forgot what happiness was. For my only goal, you see like the finish there? My only goal in that race was for pain to stop. But it's ironic because my biggest obstacle in that race was stopping. Because the only results that I knew to stop was pain. So one day, walking around, running, I, no walking, I keep running, I met Dani. And I met Dani, she's Dani. She invited me to a meditation circle. So it was my first time, like really meditation without a YouTube video of the things. And that day changed my life. I would love to say that, but no. Wait, how can I say? No. Because it doesn't always happen that way. So I keep meditating maybe once a week or a month or a year. And one day I was talking again with Dani, and she told me like 3 years open the inscriptions for meditation teacher training, and because she did this training the last year, and she did this training the last year, and she told me that it changed her life. So I was afraid, and I was like, no, I'm not ready. But I was like, okay, I have 1 month of, I can take it. And I gave me this opportunity. And you're gonna hate me now, because I thought that meditation for me was just something like will help me with the stress or with overthinking. Just the stress and overthinking. But thinking, but what a reality check I got. So I was in 3 years, and in meditation is the in something, and I learned how that everything that I perceive, the world becomes to me and no side, and no side, and that every cause has its effects, and every reaction, every thought, and every habit, it's a seed that we plant in the garden of our life. So, the garden of our life. So I realized that I had planted fear. I had planted perfectionism. And then I realized too that everything is empty. So the what I thought, who I thought that I was, and who I thought that I'm sorry, I am now, can be flexible, and all the patterns that push you over and over, the repeats, the things seem solid, but they are, you can transform that paths. So I understood that my shyness wasn't my flaw, was trying to protect me, and my fear wasn't my weakness, was cry, a cry of help, and all my pain wasn't burned. It was, and it's my story. So I learned that meditate didn't erase my pain, but it transformed my relationship with it. Meditate wasn't escape, but was this exit door. And in this exit door, when you walk through, you have the power to transform this circle, and this circle becomes an spiral, and this spiral reminds you that you have an infinite potential, and that you're capable of being loved and love every being in this world, and that we are here to serve others, to help others, and to be happy, and to be happy, and that happiness you will never find outside. And the only way that you get there is when you trying to help others, to keep learning, and when you take your cushion for at least 15 minutes, in your day. And I reminds me every day, and now I reminds you that we are not here, we're not meant to run in circles, so we're designed to expand.